Part 33. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 321. After receiving the plot, Tao Ran couldn't hold in his anger. Fang Wen's story reflects too many social problems. In addition to bad social habits, feudal dregs and domestic violence, it is also the difficulty for a woman to gain a foothold in the world. Of course, the most hated ones are those dog men. The liar Chen Jun is the culprit, and Chu Le is not much better. He is also the driving force behind Fang Wen's tragedy. After all, they are boyfriend and girlfriend talking about marriage. Even if they don't step forward at the critical moment, they can at least provide some care and encouragement, right? Can you at least understand it? Fang Wen is self-loving and self-reliant, and she has worked hard. If only Chu Le could be more tolerant, if only he had a little bit of compassion and didn't stab Fang Wen's tragedy might not have happened. I believe that Fang's father and mother would not force their daughter to marry just because of their reputation. Tao Ran was suddenly pulled into this world by the old witch, so apart from the plot, she didn't get Fang Wen's wish. She doesn't know what Fang Wen wants when she comes back to her life. Since there is no such thing, she can only act according to her own mood. Tao Ran was originally in a bad mood because of the old witch, but now that she had received the story, she became even more angry. Anyway, revenge must be avenged. Those scumbags, Chen Jun, the Chen family, Chu Le, all listed in the small book, and by the way, Yuan Lily. That's a mastermind too. Yes, the woman who was squatting beside Fang Wen's bed and being pushed into the basin by Tao Ran was Yuan Lily. No wonder Tao Ran felt that she had evil intentions as soon as he saw her, and sure enough. At this time, it was Fang Wen and her two roommates who were being taken by Yuan Lily to attend a wedding in her hometown. The girls brought their blessings, bought uniform dresses and headdresses in the city at their own expense, prepared gifts, and came happily. They took the train for a night and half a day, and then transferred to long-distance trains and buses. Last night, they stayed at a small hotel in the county town only more than 70 miles away from Yuan Lily's hometown. They were just waiting to take the train to Yuan Lily's home at noon the next day. The minibus in the village. Yuan Lily brought them to this hotel, which was a bit shabby. But the three girls knew that Yuan Lily was frugal, and for the sake of her face, they didn't even complain. Yuan Lily only opened 2 rooms. They originally thought of sharing a room in pairs. As a result, Yuan Lily's fiancé came last night, and the young couple stayed in one room directly. There were no other vacancies in the hotel, so the 3 remaining girls couldn't be separated, so they had to squeeze into a small shabby bed, and no one fell asleep. But even so, no one said anything wrong with Yuan Lily. As soon as day broke, the other 2 girls couldn't stand the musty smell in the room and ran out to get some fresh air. Fang Wen had a cold, so she squinted her eyes and slept for a while. Just now, Yuan Lily came to wake her up. Because we agreed that we would help buy some wedding supplies in the county this morning. Yuan Lily naturally took the initiative to call her out. After all, among the group of them, Fang Wen had the biggest wallet. Of course, more importantly, Fang Wen was the talkative, the most generous, the thinnest skinned, and the easiest to trick people into taking money. Tao Ran stood up and tried Fang Wen's body. Good. He has average strength, not a weakling. It's also quite flexible. It seems that this martial art still needs to be rehearsed. Fang Wen had been beaten so many times by Chen Jun before, but this time, she had to beat her back with her fist to satisfy him. Tao Ran sat down and took a breath. The martial arts learned in Yutong's world are very useful. If you practice the internal skills and mental techniques in a circle around your body, your whole body will be warm, and all the coldness caused by the cold will be dissipated. Tao Ran washed his face and thought about it. What to do now? Go home? No. If he turns around and leaves now, Will it have any impact on Yuan Lily and Chen Jun? Without. But what about the three girls? But time and money have been lost. Why? Even if you come here, even if you can't recover the loss, you can't make the other party happy and smooth. After unpacking his luggage, Tao Ran unpacked the full set of brand name cosmetics gift boxes that Fang Wen was going to give to Yuan Lily as a wedding gift, and applied each layer on his face. Yuan Lily? Does she deserve it? Fang Wen is very affectionate, and Yuan Lily is going back to her hometown. It stands to reason that we will not have any major contact in the future, but Fang Wen still carefully maintains this friendship and does not hesitate to give her blessings. It's a pity that the other party doesn't cherish it. Therefore, even if these things were used to wipe Tao Ran's heels, they would not give him any advantage. Tao Ran also opened the cosmetic gift boxes that the other two roommates bought for Yuan Lily. The two roommates were also taken advantage of and used as a cover after losing money. Later, because of Fang Wen's accident, they had a knot in their hearts for many years and always regretted coming here. This time, the three of them don't have to endure that anymore. Tao Ran is very good at makeup. She carefully applied a layer of porcelain white foundation on herself, and then took out the dark eyeshadow and smudged it out. Soon, a bloodless, haggard and yellow face appeared. So, when Yuan Lily and the others came over, they were shocked when they saw her lifeless face. Still uncomfortable? Well, I'm afraid I have to go to the hospital. Can't you persist? Yuan Lily asked stupidly. Go to the hospital? How can that work? She also hoped to trick Fang Wen into paying her when she went shopping later. Tao Ran sneered inwardly. It is natural to see a doctor when you are sick. Why should you persist? I can't hold on anymore. The other two roommates, Dai Yu and Su Bai, were obviously much kinder than Yuan Lily. Shall we accompany you to the hospital first? Xiaoan, you look very bad. Yes, Lily will have a wedding tomorrow, and you have to get well soon. Otherwise, Lily will lose a bridesmaid. Yuan Lily agreed upon hearing this. If Fang Wen's cold got serious, wouldn't her plan be over? Only then did she come up to help Tao Ran, and asked her fiancé Qi Ji to quickly go to the hotel kitchen to ask for a bowl of porridge. Tao Ran. I feel uncomfortable in my stomach, so I don't want to drink porridge. I want milk, and buy me some bread. I want some meat floss. Dai Yu, you guys haven't eaten either, right? Then please brother Xiao Qi, please buy more breakfast. Xiao loves eat coconut caterpillar bread, Xiao Bai likes to eat steamed buns, mushrooms, vegetables and spicy pickled vegetables, Lily likes fried dough sticks and sesame balls. Why don't you buy them together and bring back some soy milk or something? Tao Ran turned a blind eye to the expressions of Mr. and Mrs. Gigi, who instantly collapsed and turned dark. He gave instructions carefully, and then said weakly, "Thank you, brother Qi." Dai Yugzubai was already hungry, so he thanked Qi Ji with a heartless smile while letting young master Fang Wen worry about it. Qi Ji was stunned and Yuan Lily pulled him to the next room. Who is your classmate? You actually give me orders. There are no rules anymore, men are gods, and women should be obedient and be manipulated. The rules in the world are that only men can order women to do things. When can women still dictate and order men? Yuan Lily took his arm and shook it. Why are you so angry? How can any city person be sensible? When your cousin gets married, you can ask Xiajun to teach her a lesson. She is not like this normally. She is sick, so it is normal to do something like this. If it is done, you will benefit a lot. Hurry up and go quickly. Tao Ran took advantage of going to the bathroom and eavesdropped at the door of the young couple's room for half a minute before leaving with a sneer. Sure enough, there are tangible benefits in scheming against Fang Wen. So Yuan Lily was not just jealous of Fang Wen, but directly sold her friend. Thank you for the reward of I dance and watch B baby, to express your feelings. As usual, A new story begins and it takes some time to figure out the plot. If it's too late today, this chapter may be all that's left. Love you. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 322. Tao Ran went back to his room with a cold expression. Although the other two girls were slow but not stupid, they immediately realized that Fang Wen must have heard something. So the two of them also went out and gathered on the door of the next room. Their ears were not as good as Tao Ran's and they could not hear clearly what Qi Ji said, but Yuan Lily's voice was familiar to them, so they almost heard a general outline. You should leave immediately after buying breakfast. Otherwise, you will have to pay for the room. If you're not here, as long as I pretend to have no money, they will most likely help me pay. People in the city are all obsessed with saving face. Although they are cute, they are also stupid. As long as you control them, you won't suffer any loss. Just follow Fang Wen's advice and buy more. They are all easy to deceive. The two were stunned. If they hadn't heard the same content, they would have almost thought they heard it wrong. Vomited. Sisters. Best friend? Is that what you say about yourself? Easy to cheat? Can it? They are really easy to fool. I treat you as my best friend, but you treat me as a fool? Just now, they thought the behavior in the corner was very vulgar and planned to turn around. Now it seems that you still can't be too honest. After returning to the room, the three of them were silent for a while. I want to go back, Dai Yu said. Subai, we shouldn't have come. We asked for trouble and spent a month's living expenses. You've come here. I paid for the travel expenses, spent money on the dress, and bought gifts. No matter what, I have to eat the wedding wine before leaving. I have to get my money back, Tao Ran said. 15 minutes later, Qi Ji came back. $24.50. He carried a bag of food and handed it to Fang Wen. Huh, Tao Ran pretended to be stupid. Bull. Does she care if she wants money? They came to their wedding. Qi Ji, 5 milks cost 10 yuan. 3 breads cost 6 yuan. 6 buns cost 4 yuan. Yashao and sesame balls cost 4.5 yuan in total. Are you collecting money from me? Tao Ran would not spend money foolishly. She glanced at Yuan Lily with an exaggerated look, and then smiled. Lily, your fiancé is a man who knows how to live a good life. It was a clear calculation. Her words were full of contempt. Then, she took out a $10 bill from her bag and threw it out. My breakfast is 4 yuan. I'll give you 10 yuan. You don't have to change it. The rest will be used as a reward for running errands. Tao Ran deliberately shook his hand and let the money float out. Qi Ji quickly grabbed it with his hand, caught the money and stuffed it into his pocket before it hit the ground. Absolutely amazing. Dai Yu and Su Bai were also stunned when they looked at it. Seeing this, the two of them quickly dug into their pockets. They wanted to lose 10 yuan each, but when they thought about it, why did they get it for nothing? This man didn't even invite them to breakfast, so they still paid for it? So the two of them counted a few steel coins and handed them out. Yuan Lily knew that the three sisters were angry and pushed Qi Ji. Look, you've gone too far in joking. The sisters all took it seriously. Yuan Lily quickly stuffed the money back into their respective bags. I'm so happy that you can come. The friendship between landlords has to be exhausted, so take it back quickly. Qi Ji loves to joke, so you should ignore him. The atmosphere was a bit awkward. Dai Yugzubai didn't pay attention to Qi Ji before, but now he looks disgusting. Even Yuan Lily looks more and more strange. Especially Yuan Lily really started to send Qi Ji to go home quickly. Sure enough, she heard her right in front of the door just now. Are you so afraid of him paying for the room? He slept in a room last night, why didn't he have to spend money? Vomited. Yuan Lily had plans for Fang Wen and quickly took her to the hospital. But Tao Ran refused. "I'll just go to the hospital by myself." Tao Ran took the bag. "The wedding is important, there are a lot of things to buy, right? You three go and choose first. I'll go there after I get out of the hospital. Otherwise, I won't be able to catch the minibus. I'll just go get a shot, it'll be quick." Yuan Lily thought the same thing. This minibus only runs once a day in the morning and at noon, so hurry up. In this way, Tao Ran went to the hospital, and 10 minutes later, he walked out of the back door of the hospital. After asking for directions, she first went to the nearest bank and deposited all the 2,000 yuan she had into the card, leaving only some change and 300 yuan. And she stuffed 200 of them directly into the insoles. She found a tailor shop and sewed the card and ID card into her underwear. After thinking about it, she simply went back to the bank and reported the loss of her bank card. Then she went to the drugstore and bought several bottles of cod liver oil. I poured the cod liver oil, returned to the hotel, and poured all the high-end skincare products that I wanted to give to Yuan Lily into the cod liver oil bottle. In the original bottle of the skincare product, she poured some soapy water into it. Thinking about it, Yuan Lily will be very happy when she opens this gift. After placing the bottles and packing the gift boxes, Tao Ran left with several cod liver oil bottles. She then went to the post office and sent several bottles of cod liver oil back to her school address. Good things should not be wasted, keep them for your own use later. After thinking about it again, she simply sent her handbag back. She also went to the station. There were quite a few cars parked around there waiting to do the work. She walked around and chose a middle-aged man who was cleaning the car carefully and chatting with the staff going in and out of the station. Well, he cleans the car carefully and is a real person. If you are popular, there is a high probability that you will not be too bad. At least he's someone who can get along well in the local area. She stepped forward and chatted with the uncle for a few words, and gave him a deposit of 100 yuan. The work she sent out was worth 300. These days, a trip worth 300 yuan is definitely a big job. The uncle gave Tao Ran his business card as if he had been given a shot of chicken blood, and he was so polite that he took Tao Ran to the mall for free. "The reason why I came here is because Yuan Lily is picking out things for her wedding." When Tao Ran arrived, she was trying on a suit. After briefly asking about her condition, Yuan Lily excitedly told Tao Ran that she had chosen a pair of leather boots and a set of bedding. She also wanted to give Qi Ji a watch. "Xiaoan, what do you think? If you like it, buy it. As a newlywed, don't wrong yourself. Do you support my purchase?" Yuan Lily asked tentatively. "Support? How could Tao Ran object? When I get married, I will sweep across the counters one by one and have all the salespeople surround me." Dai Yugzubai secretly pulled Tao Ran, and Tao Ran gave them a reassuring look. Yuan Lily was overjoyed and felt confident. As expected, she visited several counters. At the silk scarf counter, I bought 3 sets of silk scarves that were exactly the same at 19.9 each, saying they were for 3 good friends. The 3 of them thanked each other. The one she chose costs 88. Are good friends not worth using the same ones? Yuan Lily struck again while the iron was hot and said she had taken a fancy to a pair of red high heels. "What high heels should I wear when pregnant?" The other 3 girls showed their disdain. "Is this trying to pluck the wool? I like it. Who doesn't prepare red high heels for their wedding? I'll wear them tomorrow." Tao Ran, "That's right. I want a lucky draw, I want it." Several people looked at the counter for a while. Patent leather big bow, stiletto heels, priced at 399. In this day and age, shoes worth 400 yuan are quite expensive. Looking at the entire counter, these shoes are the most expensive. Yuan Lily quickly called someone to wrap up all the things she had just spotted. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 323. The orders were opened, the bags were packed, and while the salespersons were holding bags and smiling, waiting for the orders to be paid, Yuan Lily started her performance. No money. Want to borrow? Borrow 1005. Naturally with Fang Wen. She knew that Fang Wen was rich. That stinky girl made a lot of money on weekdays. Even her mobile phone was almost bought with her own money. Among the girls in the class, except for one who comes from a nouveau riche family, she is the only one who has a mobile phone. You know, mobile phones are not yet fully popular among school teachers. She can buy a mobile phone worth 3,000 yuan, so what does it mean if she borrows more than 1,000 yuan? Anyway, we will soon be a family. Will she have the nerve to let herself pay it back then? By then it would be too late for her to beg herself to take more care of her. No, lend me 1,060. After all, the total price of the things she bought was over 1,080. She is such a thin-skinned person that she would be too embarrassed to borrow all of it, otherwise, she would not want to pay any of the money herself. However, in Yuan Lily's eyes full of hope, when Tao Ran looked up again, his eyes were red and tears were rolling in his eyes. Only then did a few people ask her what was wrong. Yuan Lily was the first to find out. Where is your bag? She watched Fang Wen carry that beautiful pink leather bag to the hospital with her own eyes, and she was thinking of borrowing this bag to carry during the toast tomorrow. But now Fang Wen has nothing but a mobile phone. The bag is lost. What? Yuan Lily screamed. What? I said my bag was lost. At the hospital, I felt sleepy while queuing there, so I fell asleep. When I woke up, my bag was gone. I looked for it but couldn't find it. Is there anything important in the bag? Dai Yugzubai asked. Have you put any money in your bag? Yuan Lily asked. Except for the phone, everything and the money were in the bag. Have you called the police? Yuan Lily looked nervous, as if she had lost the money. No, forget it. Since it was stolen, it can't be recovered. I've already reported the loss of my bank card, so I only lost a little money. Chao Ran took out the bank's receipt for reporting the loss of the card. Yuan Lily glanced at it and hated Fang Wen's calmness. Hurry up and call the police. There's so much money. But if you call the police, you have to go to the police station. That might take a lot of time. I might not be able to go to your house today. Then I might not be able to be your bridesmaid. Chao Ran didn't mind, but what about Yuan Lily? Yuan Lily was dumbfounded. Yes, there are still a lot of things to do today, and we have to arrange for Chen Jun and Fang Wen to get to know each other. So, don't worry about my things. After all, you can make money again if you lose it. Your wedding is more important. Lily, pay for it? You should be a carefree bride. Chao Ran smiled sincerely. Got up. Yuan Lily's face became even tighter. Purchase. Buy shit. She just brought 200. How much money did you bring? Yuan Lily turned to the other two sisters. You can borrow money from these two idiots. Anyway, the friendship between classmates has been exhausted. If the money borrowed is not repaid, when will it be repaid? Isn't it all based on one's own wishes? Dai Yu and Dai Yu looked at each other. If they hadn't heard Yuan Lily's words before, then the two of them would have really had to raise some money for Yuan Lily, but now. I'm sorry, Lily. I am just a poor student, and my living expenses are all provided by my parents. Me too, I really don't have that much money. We have spent hundreds of dollars on your wedding. We still have to leave some travel expenses and living expenses to go home. I really can't help you. Tao Ran, don't look at me. I'm penniless now. I don't even have the money to go home. I'm not as good as them. She dug through her empty pockets and only pulled out a few 5 yuan notes and a few steel. Yuan Lily's heart was so painful that it almost went away. She was thinking about the money stolen by the thief, felt sorry for the pile of things in front of her, cursed the bag thief, and was upset about why she didn't accompany Fang Wen to the hospital. You know, there was a whole row of salesmen standing in a row, carrying large and small bags. They were all shocked. Seeing that girl being so arrogant, looking at everything, trying everything, and buying everything, I thought she was some upstart with a fortune, but I didn't expect that she was a poor person who was showing off and borrowing money from everywhere. No money? You can go shopping like this without money, and have such a choice? Yuan Lily, forget it, I don't want it anymore. I won't buy it. Who would buy these things in the mall if they paid for them themselves? When you go to the market, you can get it for up to 1/5 of the price. Isn't it that you come to the mall just to show off and get out? Buy it today, put it out tomorrow, use it, and get your money back after the wedding. That would be really cool. Double the pleasure of free whoring. So Yuan Lily threw the payment receipt aside without hesitation. All the salespersons were stunned. Damn it, so many of them have been serving you for a long time in vain? Is this little girl playing tricks on us? If you don't have money, don't come out and play nonsense. Isn't it? Doesn't this affect our business? If every customer was like you, our mall would have closed down long ago. It's better to be kind. I have never seen such a stingy bride. Yuan Lily was anxious. What are you talking about? Call your manager out. Tao Ran grabbed her and said, you are the soon-to-be bride. Don't get angry easily, and be careful of being scolded. It's bad luck. We've troubled others, so it's not good to not buy anything. Just buy whatever you want. Yuan Lily sighed secretly. What's wrong if you don't buy it? Who says you must buy something after trying it? Even if she is trying here until tomorrow, they still have to serve her. Don't like it? Just don't be a salesperson. If it weren't for Fang Wen's sake, for the sake of her unlucky situation, she wouldn't have paid a penny. Forget it, just buy something. But what to buy? The items she picked were all big and expensive, nothing cheap. Over there, Dai Yu and the others, who were feeling embarrassed, couldn't help but ask, Lily, do you want to return these 3 scarves too? Let me ask, who can feel comfortable? Fang Wen paid for the bus fare, and bought the gifts with the living expenses they saved. They paid for the clothing with their own money. When they came, the other party didn't want to pay for the hotel, and couldn't even part with a small gift of 20 yuan. They actually didn't like the scarf just now, but now, they suddenly want it? Yuan Lily opened her mouth, embarrassed to say no. But it's 60 yuan. Instead of giving it to them, why not buy one for herself? However, looking at the strange looks in the 3 people's eyes, she could only say, this scarf is a gift from me to you, of course it will not be returned. She found the silk scarf from the receipt, took 60 and handed it to the cashier. I only want these 3 scarves. Unexpectedly, the receipt was taken away by the salesperson. Sorry, the original price of this scarf was 41 pieces. You bought the one at the regular price of 88 yuan, so I gave you a discount. You can buy the special price scarf. If you want to buy the scarf alone, sorry, 41. Why are you still raising prices? Why are you still being unreasonable? You used to get discounts when buying more, but now you just want discounts. How can there be such a good thing in the world? The salesperson didn't earn a penny all morning and was already feeling unhappy. No, all the nearby customers and passers-by were attracted by the noise. Naturally, Tao Ran and his 2 roommates pretended to be weak and took a step back together, allowing Yuan Lily to jump on their feet, where they braced themselves and began to scold the salesperson. Xiao Wen, where's the phone? Take it out. Report a 0, Yuen Lily was so confident that she even wanted to use her phone to pretend to be a boss and use the police to scare people. At this time, a salesperson suddenly ran over angrily, "Just in time, I also want to report the unitary and zero. Let's report it together." Tao Ran curled his lips. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 324. The salesperson who came in angrily was the one at the shoe counter just now. At this moment, she looked angry, suppressed her blush, and slapped the shoe box in front of Yuen Lily. "No wonder I don't want it all of a sudden. You've damaged your shoes." Looking along her hand, she saw a clear scratch on the upper part of the right heel of the red high-heeled shoe. "You were the only one who touched these shoes. You clearly damaged the uppers. Are you embarrassed to not want them? Now I want to sue you for compensation." The salesperson was furious. This girl seemed to have a lot of money, so he only served her. "I thought I could get a few dozen commissions today, but the result was good. I made no money and almost lost a lot of money." She was so angry. "Bah! It's none of my business." Yuen Lily was also angry. "How do I know where this scratch came from? I just tried it on." "What? Your shoes are papery? Are you not allowed to try them? Are they broken as soon as you try them? Is this your first try? You have tried on these shoes 3 times and walked back and forth more than a dozen times. From your little sisters to customers, how many people have you shown off in front of? I didn't do it anyway. Stop falsely accusing me. That's you. You don't want the shoes after you break them, and you don't dare to admit them for fear of losing money, right? You fart. If you say that, I still doubt you. Did you see that I tried on the shoes and didn't buy them, so you deliberately broke the shoes and put them on my head, hoping to force me to buy them? Or did you deliberately get a pair of bad shoes to frame me? Why are you salespeople so bad? Your mall is a black store, right?" Yuen Lily was wronged. At this moment, he was naturally furious and flushed. 400 yuan. Still want to force her to be taken advantage of? Does she seem to be easy to bully? As soon as she stamped her feet, she started shouting loudly, shouting "black store in the mall, selling bad shoes, wronging customers." Yuen Lily also winked at her 3 best friends. But those 3 people were stupid and didn't know anything. Seeing her being bullied and hesitating, none of them dared to come forward. On the contrary, all the salespersons have gathered around to support him. They were working in vain and were already angry. Now that they were scolded in public, they naturally united. "Black shop? She dares to say it?" Now, the shopping mall not only clamored to call the police, but also demanded reputation compensation. Yuen Lily was surrounded by a large group of people and made a fuss. Tao Ran folded his arms and watched the show. So lively. How nice. With so many people helping him to scold him, Tao Ran felt relieved. This bad thing, ahem, of course she did it. In the late 1990s, patent leather was just becoming popular. This thing is good looking, shiny, and really has quality. It's a pity that there is a flaw, it is not made by resistance. If it were black, the problem wouldn't be obvious. But what Yuen Lily likes is red. When Daoran was helping her put her shoes back, she accidentally scratched the heart-shaped mobile phone pendant given by the scumbag, so, hee. There was a striking sign behind him, red skin and black marks. You couldn't even pretend to be blind. Look, the salesperson's sister discovered it right away. Are you doing good things to others? In this way, scum like you and Lily can learn a lesson, and the hard-working salesperson's sister will not be busy with empty hands, but can also help everyone breathe a sigh of relief. How nice. Tao Ran was not afraid of being discovered. After all, in this era, the probes under the traffic lights at intersections were not fully covered, let alone the small shopping malls in this small county. Moreover, all the salespeople were surrounding Yuan Lily just now, and no one noticed her. So, stay safe. Yuan Lily was surrounded. Seeing that the enemy was outnumbered, she naturally wanted to withdraw. But how could the salesperson let her go? Yuan Lily first threatened to expose them to her classmates on the TV station. Seeing that it was useless, she held her stomach and cried out that she was pregnant. If something happened, would the mall be held responsible? She wants to sue the mall. All the salespeople laughed. Little girl, didn't you say you won't get married until tomorrow? Are you lying, or are you pregnant before marriage, getting on the bus and then paying the fare? Either way, it shows that you are a bit casual, little girl. Everyone laughed. Yuan Lily's face turned pale with anger, and she was just being watched and laughed at by the melon-eating people on the 3 floors inside and outside. The police came and made inquiries. There happened to be customers at the shoe counter who could testify that they had seen the whole process of the salesperson taking back the shoes. Shoe defects have nothing to do with the salesperson. This pair of shoes is indeed the one that was rejected after trying them on. When the police asked Fang Wen and several other people, they answered truthfully, saying that the shoes Yuan Lily tried on were in good condition, but they were not aware of the scratches, which made Yuan Lily roll her eyes in anger. So, it seemed that Yuan Lily had broken the shoes while trying them on. Even Dai Yugzubai felt that there was something very wrong with this good roommate's character, and suspected that she deliberately didn't want it after breaking it. The police suggested that Yuan Lily buy the shoes. Yuan Lily said bluntly, she has no money. Come to the mall if you have no money. Did you choose so many? And she still had so many salespersons surrounding her? Isn't this making trouble? Doesn't this affect other people's business? The mall requested the police to severely punish Yuan Lily. Even if it cannot make up for the loss of the mall, it cannot tolerate such a mentally unhealthy person. Mentally unhealthy? Yuan Lily was so angry that she jumped up again and bumped into the person in charge of the shopping mall with her belly full. The police immediately grabbed her and took her to a nearby police station. In the end, Yuan Lily was not only required to buy the shoes at the original price, but was also fined 100. Yuan Lily refused, and the irritable Dai Yugzubai reminded her and asked her if she still wanted to get married tomorrow. Only then did Yuan Lily realize that she had missed the minibus at 12 noon. She was anxious. She is still busy getting married. Finally, Yuan Lily cried and contacted Chiji, asking her fiancé who had just arrived home to send money quickly. Tao Ran, on the other hand, took his 2 roommates out to have a full meal and talked a lot. The other 2 girls originally wanted to pack their luggage and check out, but Tao Ran stopped them. What? Are you in a hurry to pay for the room? I have no money. I don't want to pay them either. Their room has a double bed, and the room rate is higher than ours. Also, it's Lily who begged us to be the bridesmaids. This she should pay the room fee. We have done our best. The 2 girls nodded, we listened to you. Just like that, when Chi Ji arrived again in the minibus, it was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Yuan Lily spent her own money to buy 3 silk scarves for 120 yuan, a pair of shoes for 400 yuan, and a fine of 100 yuan. Plus the extra minibus fare for Chi Ji to go back and forth. Her heart was almost bleeding. Then the group went to check out, but the hotel owner was not happy and asked for an extra room fee on the grounds that it was past 12 o'clock. Dai Yugzubai shook his head, Tao Ran dug into his pockets, and Yuan Lily kept winking at Chi Ji. Extra half-day rent? What can Chi Ji do? So, after another 20 minutes of arguing with the boss and some embarrassing arguments, Chi Ji reluctantly paid an extra 20% of the rent and went back angrily. Tao Ran, but there's no minibus anymore. How can we get back? Chi Ji became even more depressed. Thanks to Xiaoao and Tianyu 67 baby for the reward, and thanks to everyone for your monthly votes. Thank you for your support. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 325. If there is no minibus, then you can only rent a car. Chi-ji started the process of looking for a car and bargaining again. Half an hour later, he finally found a small broken car. The price was 1/3 cheaper. If his fiancée hadn't had a baby in her belly, he would have rented a tractor to haul the yellow sand at the intersection. But even so, the extra money the two of them spent was already over 800 and dozens, which was Chi-ji's salary for 2 months of working in the county town. Can he not feel bad? So along the way, Chi-ji and Yuan Lily inevitably complained and argued with each other. The two even had a big fight while refueling. Tao Ran was sitting at the back and couldn't help but grab a handful of melon seeds from his bag and crack them. Ha, the relationship between these two people is nothing more than this. You know, in the plot, they are really in love. Although Yuan Lily gave birth to a daughter this time, she soon gave birth to a second child. Her son was fostered by her again under her uncle's household registration, and she continued to take advantage of him. The uncle was disabled and had many benefits, but in the end all the benefits fell into the pockets of Yuan Lily and Chi-ji. Even the rent on the uncle's land belongs to her in the end. Because she can make money and has found a cash cow wife for her male cousin, she has never been angry with her husband's family in her life. On the contrary, her husband's family will always think of her first if anything good happens. She never went to work in her life, she just sat at home and enjoyed various benefits and subsidies, becoming a happy social bug all her life. Ha, don't think about it anymore in this life. By the time the group arrived at Yuan Lily's parents' house, it was already past 4 in the afternoon. Yuan's mother scolded Yuan Lily, then glanced at several girls with sharp eyes, and finally gave a fake smile, without even the intention of being polite. Only when facing Tao Ran, she came up and asked a few questions. The 3 girls were arranged to stay in a small room, and the conditions were no better than the small hotel last night. Standing against the wall of the room is a bamboo bed used for sleeping in the cool air in summer. Yuan's mother didn't treat the 3 of them as outsiders at all. We will sleep on the bamboo bed tonight. You 3 will have a fight by yourselves later. If you need water, go to the kitchen to find it. Later, you will prepare dinner. Come and help if you have nothing to do. The 3 of them were speechless. Are they really here to be bridesmaids? Tao Ran opened his bag disapprovingly, and the other 2 girls stared blankly. Fang Wen's bag was filled with mineral water and food. Tao Ran, anyway, I don't drink her water. I suggest you also drink the bottled water I bought. The water and food in the luggage bag were all bought by Tao Ran when he returned to the hotel on the way. In addition, I suggest that the 3 of us should not separate and stay together. She also had to prevent the 2 sisters from being harmed. Dai Yugzubai nodded repeatedly. Then, they heard the quarrel next door. It was Yuan Ma and Yuan Lily who were arguing. I could vaguely hear Yuan Ma angrily scolding her daughter for being hopeless, failing to handle even small things, and losing a lot of rice if she failed to steal a chicken. Tao Ran raised his eyebrows. Can it? Originally, they could get 1,060 yuan from themselves, but in the end they lost more than 800 yuan. This time in and out, the difference is 2,004. In this kind of rural area, this is a huge sum of money. Over there, Yuan Ma was still letting Yuan Lily grow some snacks, while here Tao Ran lowered his eyes, thinking that since this family loves money so much, she would have to give them 2 more cuts. The 3 of them had just put down the bamboo bed and were going to get some water and wipe it with water. Before they could sit down and take a breath, there was another knock on the door. It was Yuan Ma who asked the 3 of them to put on their bridesmaid clothes, dress up properly, and go out to give them a look. The 3 of them thought it was funny while changing into their dresses. Why is there such a grand ceremony in a small mountain village that even the convoy cannot enter? Not even a bridesmaid, right? Still want to do some tricks? This dress was chosen by Yuan Lily, and she also requested the high-heeled shoes. However, there were gravel roads everywhere along the way that the little car came here. Wearing high-heeled shoes is not allowed to fall to death. But Tao Ran, who had memories of the plot, knew that the dress and bridesmaids were to support the Yuan family. Yuan Lily was the only college student in the village, so it would be fashionable, enviable, and glorious to do something city-style. As for the dress, she can resell it later. Yuan Lily likes high-heeled shoes not only because they look good, but also because they can't run away easily when they put them on, which makes it easier for them to act. Half an hour later, the three girls put on complete dresses, high heels, and light makeup and appeared in the hall. Who would have thought that there were already 20 people sitting in the hall? Yuan Lily came up to them with a smile and said that the neighbors were curious and came to see them. However, Tao Ran knew that most of the visitors were relatives of the Yuan family and the Chen family, and they were expecting Fang Wen to come. Tao Ran also glanced at Chen Jun. The guy was obviously dressed up. White shirt and jeans, quite clean, is Chu Li's usual way of dressing, obviously after Yuan Lily's guidance. As soon as the three people appeared, all kinds of compliments appeared around them. Can it? People are beautiful and innocent, immature, and easy to deceive, and their skin is thinner. People in the city are in better condition. Putting such a decoration at home is both beautiful and profitable. The various looks around me were too blatant, a bit like choosing chickens and ducks in a vegetable market. The three of them received the most compliments in their lifetimes, and those compliments were also exaggerated, saying that they were beautiful, better than fairies, and can only be married if they burn high incense. Dai Yu and Su Bai were 2 parts shy, 1 part panicked and 1 part at a loss, and kept leaning towards Tao Ran. A woman came up who claimed to be the matchmaker for tomorrow's wedding. She took Tao Ran and looked him up and down several times. Then she smiled and called Chen Jun forward, saying, "This is tomorrow's best man. Get to know him quickly. They are all young people. Get along well, tomorrow's wedding depends on you, you hurry up and discuss tomorrow's affairs." Chen Jun came up politely, introduced himself, and then cleared a bench behind him and let the 3 girls sit at the table. I have to say, this behavior is a plus, he was well prepared. Tao Ran smiled sweetly at Chen Jun. Chen Jun was stunned for a moment. He smiled naively and couldn't look away. Everyone saw it and laughed. "Just one best man?" Tao Ran asked directly. "One best man is enough," the matchmaker laughed. "There must only be 1 golden boy and 1 girl, right? Lily, why did you let all 3 of us be bridesmaids?" Tao Ran asked Dai Yu and Su Bai's doubts. Yuan Lily smiled perfunctorily, "Isn't it because the plan couldn't keep up with the change? I just realized that the groom has prepared a best man nonsense, she just wanted to get Fang Wen to come alone, but if there weren't so many people, how could Fang Wen come? So she could only lie and pretend to let all 3 of them be bridesmaids. That won't work." Tao Ran directly expressed the 3 people's dissatisfaction in front of 40 or 50 eyes. "You just praised our whole outfit. The price is not low. Let's just say that the skirt is 161, these high heels are 120 pairs, the headdress is 30, the necklace is 30. Plus stockings, earrings, and so on. A set costs 360. Didn't you just waste 2 outfits? These dresses are all tailor-made, and there is no place to return them. Although it is all your money is not wasted, right?" Tao Ran had made it clear enough, and Dai Yu and the others naturally understood. "Speaking of which, Lily, you are already home. Do you want to give us the money for the bridesmaids' clothes first? We are all poor students. We can't afford the extra money, and we can't afford these 360 sets of clothes. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 326. Tao Ran hated the feeling of being treated like a commodity. Since the other party used so many people, she simply came to collect a debt in front of everyone. The bridesmaids' clothes are all requested by the bride, and the bride's family should pay for them. Of course, if the bride's family is harmonious, they may not say this. For sisters, I am willing to spend more. But now, not to mention Tao Ran, not even the other two girls are willing to pay a penny. So Tao Ran mentioned it in public, thinking that with so many pairs of eyes watching, they wouldn't waste the money, right? In the plot, the three girls are so thin-skinned, how could they have the nerve not to give face to ask like this? Although they gave hints, Yuan Lily and her family pretended not to understand. After the wedding, not only did the girls not get the bridesmaid red envelope, they were also deducted 2 months of living expenses. Later, something happened to Fang Wen, and no one mentioned the money again. So this time, the money must be recovered. Yuan Lily really didn't expect that she was just talking about the best man, so why did she change the topic and mention money? 306 per person, wouldn't she have to spend more than 1,000 in one go? Beautiful thought. Why? With more than 1,000, wouldn't she prepare a few more sets of clothes for herself? Why are you giving them an advantage? Let them be the bridesmaids, which is already very impressive. Of course, they have to prepare their own dresses. Seeing Yuan Lily's normal expression, Dai Yu and Su Bai were dumbfounded. They didn't have the nerve to ask directly before, so they could still make excuses for Yuan Lily. The attitude of their good roommate now completely amazed them. Tao Ran suddenly raised his head and asked Qi Ji, who was walking out, I don't understand the rules here. Should the money for the bridesmaid's dress be taken from the groom's family? Qi Ji had been bleeding profusely today. As soon as he heard the money talk here, he subconsciously wanted to leave. Now that he was openly questioned, his heart skipped a beat. Without thinking, he shook his head and blurted out, there are no such rules. He glared at Yuan Lily. I spent the past 3 years in college in vain, learned nothing else, and haven't gotten rid of any of my vanity problems. What dress do you want? She herself is already pregnant, so the uncooked rice has been cooked for a long time, just as a formality. Enough support. Qi Ji was afraid that he would be questioned and would have to pay for it himself. Thinking that it was more than 1,000, he pretended to pump gas for his bicycle without even looking back. Tao Ran, on the other hand, still underestimated the shamelessness of this family. Yuan Lily didn't say anything, but Yuan's mother jumped out and laughed, the number 306 is quite auspicious. You were originally going to give Lily a share of the money, so don't do it. It's troublesome to send it back and forth. These 306 is a red envelope for Lily's wedding. The three of them were amazed. Are you asking for red envelopes? If they, poor students, really wanted to give out red envelopes, they would only receive 50 or 100 red envelopes at most. Who would pack so much? Tao Ran smiled brightly again. Auntie, you don't know that our classmates have already agreed that we won't have to pay for each other's share of the marriage in the future, so it's even. When did we say we won't include elements? Yuan Lily was very sure that she never said that. Because she never planned to attend her roommate's wedding in the future. Only in this way can you earn a red envelope. Lily, you. At this time, Dai Yugzubai's face turned dark. Tao Ran, if we want to be married, why do we buy wedding gifts for Lily? How much money do we have to pay? Even if we buy the gifts, you still have to give us the money for the decoration, Lily. Dai Yu, that's right. This money is our living expenses for the next month. Su Bai, besides, Xiaoan's bag has been lost, and we don't even have travel expenses. We still have to go home, Lily, and we have to give her the money. The other party went too far, so Dai Yugzibai finally put down his shame and started asking for it. Taoran tilted his head again and rushed towards Chenjun. Best man, what do you think? You are the best man, you should be able to understand us, right? Taoran stared at Chenjun sincerely. Chenjun's heart was racing, thinking that this beautiful wife would soon be his. At this time, of course he wanted to help his wife. Moreover, this is the first time I am talking to my wife, and the first impression is so important. Whether you are reasonable or unreasonable may involve a lifetime matter. So, Chenjun solemnly replied, the money for the bridesmaids' decorations is naturally paid by the bride's family. Taoran looked at Yuan Lily again, brothers must settle the score. The same goes for us sisters. I have no money to go home. If you don't give me the money now, I will have no choice but to take my clothes and shoes to the county town, sell them, and go home directly. Dai and Dai also nodded. The three girls showed no respect at all. In front of 20 or 30 people, they all asked for money with cold expressions. The Yuan family lost all face. It has to be said that they were taken advantage of. Didn't you say that Fang Wen has a soft temper? Why are you so aggressive? Go home. Isn't everything about Chen Jun gone? Look at that kid, he's so anxious that his eyes are about to pop out. Forget it, I can't bear to lose money to no one, so just give me the money. Anyway, if you have that girl Fang Wen in your hands, the money will always come back. Yuan's mother gave her daughter a signal, then smiled and said it was all a misunderstanding. She would give the money immediately and ask the three girls to change their clothes and take out the gifts for Lily. She had heard that the gifts prepared by the three girls were all good things from big foreign brands. I just lost face, now I just took it out to show everyone the magnificence of the city people. After entering the house, Taoran deliberately pretended to make a phone call, and asked 114 about the bus from the county to the city tomorrow, and also asked about the train schedule in the city. Soon, when the three girls were changing clothes, they heard another quarrel. On their way out, they happened to see Chi Ji coming out of Yuan Lily's room angrily. Yuan Lily, with red eyes, called him twice, but didn't stop him. Taoran is happy. I get it, it's about money again. Yuan's mother must have felt that the bridesmaid's dress was all for Chi Ji's cousin Chen Jun to get a wife in the city, so the money should be paid by the husband, so she asked Yuan Lily to ask her son-in-law for the money. Chi Ji is so stingy that he is not even willing to rent a decent minibus for his fiancée. Now he naturally feels that the dress is a product of vanity and is unnecessary. I really didn't expect that the young couple who were getting married tomorrow would have already quarreled twice today. 5 minutes later, the money was finally returned to the hands of the three girls in front of everyone. Taoran felt much better. A set of skincare products and a set of cosmetics were also placed on the table. What is this, a big foreign brand? A cousin stretched out his hand. This gift box is too beautiful. Yuan Lily's face looked better and she slapped her cousin's hand away. It's my turn to open it and dismantle it. In front of everyone, she opened the gorgeous gift box and displayed the complete set of skincare products. Wow! So many bottles and cans. That's right, Yuan Lily said proudly. Fang Wen took me to the counter to choose this. The waiter at the counter looked at my skin type and specially matched it for me. It cost several hundred yuan. While talking, the cousin had already opened a bottle and took a sniff. This smell is not good. Just when Yuan Lily was about to scold her for not understanding, she saw her cousin frowning and pouring out the bottle. The thin liquid flowed all over her hands and fell all over the table. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 327. Only then did Yuan Lily realize something was wrong. She likes the set of skincare products very much. She has taken it out and read it many times. Of course she knew that every bottle inside was sealed, how could she pour the liquid directly? And what my cousin got was lotion. It should be snow white milk. Why is it like water? She grabbed it and realized that not only the lotion, but also the sealing films of several other bottles were missing, and the contents poured out also had the same texture as water. What comes out of every bottle is the same. She could see the contempt on her cousin's face. How could this happen? Taoran took the lead, filled with righteous indignation, and started to protest. Yuan Lily was startled by her and said, "Really? Isn't that right? How could? Taoran, this is not the cosmetics I bought. Is this soapy water?" Everyone whispered and looked at Taoran with a strange expression. "Look what I do," Taoran said confidently. "You all heard it? I accompanied Lily to buy this. Lily, you saw with your own eyes the money I paid and the box the salesperson put in it. And I haven't touched this gift box for several days." Yuan Lily nodded, she didn't understand either. "Yes, I put the gift box into my bag before setting off the day before yesterday. I even looked at it at the time and found that the packaging was in good condition. Yu, so, if the skincare products turned into soapy water, it was manipulated by someone, right? Taoran, that's too much. Who did it? Subai, we are all together, it is definitely not us." Subai's words probably reminded Yuan Lily. The girl rushed directly into the three-person room, opened the three-person bag without saying a word, and looked through it randomly. Zubai almost exploded. What's the meaning? Is this because they suspect that the three of them stole her skincare products? Lily, you've gone too far. You think we switched the packages? Do you think we have a place to hide? Naturally, Yuan Lily found nothing. Yes, even if Zubai admires this cosmetic, he still has to have a place to hide it if he steals it. It's even more impossible for Fang Wen. She has always been generous and has no shortage of these things. She will never tamper with anything. If not them, then who else? Who else might have come into contact with the luggage between the day before yesterday and today? Yuan Lily and Qi Ji looked at each other and thought of the same person at the same time. Hotel owner. The boss looked dishonest at first sight and wanted to charge them more for the room today. Could it be that he saw that they hadn't gone back to check out today, so he took action? It must be. Otherwise, no one else would have access to their luggage. Husband, it's several hundred yuan, Yuan Lily was about to cry. How much? Qi Ji asked again. 400. So expensive, Qi Ji was shocked again. At the same time, his heart ached. Something worth 400 yuan was actually transferred by someone like this? No, I have to go and get it back, they both said in unison. It would be fine if it was just a few dozen dollars, but it was hundreds. They have already lost so much money today, and if they lose this amount again, they will die of nausea. That boss is too hateful, they need to teach that person a lesson. No matter what, I have to ask the boss to spit out the stuff and compensate them properly. Otherwise, they call the police. Logically speaking, it was late and dinner would be needed soon, but when the Yuan family heard that hundreds of things were missing, they agreed to ask for it without saying a word. Half an hour later, a minibus arrived. This car was originally for a wedding ceremony tomorrow. Qi Ji paid RMB 100 and asked the driver to help drive him to the county town today. Taoran and 3 other people also got in the car as witnesses. Call a few more people to keep things going. It was Taoran's idea again. So, Chen Jun and several other male cousins from the newcomers' side also got on the bus. Yu and Su Bai sat together, and Taoran sat one by one. Chen Jun was naturally arranged by Qi Ji to sit next to Taoran. Taoran is indifferent. Chen Jun is eager to show off, so naturally he won't show any animal behavior. On the way, Chen Jun behaved very gentlemanly and polite, chatting softly with Tao Ran. Tao Ran kept a smile all the time, which made Chen Jun want to express himself even more. "What's delicious in your county?" Tao Ran asked. Chen Jun immediately started to introduce. "What kind of food does Tongfu restaurant sell?" "We saw a lot of people there today." Tao Ran was shopping and found that it was the largest restaurant in the county. "The beef is delicious. It's a local specialty. Then you have to try it." But then, she sighed again. "Unfortunately, my bag was stolen." She felt depressed. If you are willing, I will take you to Tongfu Tower to try it tonight." Chen Jun's eyes were shining, and he was making a small calculation in his mind: if you gain enough goodwill today, you will get twice the result with half the effort tomorrow. What's the point of spending some money? The girl will be yours tomorrow anyway. It was a good thing that the bag was lost. She had no money and wouldn't be able to return home for a while. As long as it works properly, he might be able to keep a baby in her belly in the next few days, and then he will be comfortable for the rest of his life. "Isn't this bad?" Tao Ran lowered his head slightly and avoided Chen Jun's eyes in embarrassment. "There's nothing wrong with it. It's just right. We can discuss some details of tomorrow's wedding." "Thank you, Chen Jun." When his name was called out, Chen Jun grinned from ear to ear. "Ha ha ha." Tao Ran had no purpose, he just didn't want to go hungry, and he didn't want to wait for the Yuan family's meal. It's almost time for dinner, why not have a good meal? After all, they are invited voluntarily, right? Tao Ran turned his head and smiled at the two sisters. Chen Jun said that when we arrive in the county town later, he will invite us to Tongfu for dinner. As soon as these words came out, Chen Jun's smile froze. But the words have been spoken, what can he do? You can't say that he only invited Fang Wen, right? Yes. But before turning to look at the other two girls, he didn't invite him smoothly, but his neck was stuck, and several brothers came up at the same time. "Hey, our iron rooster has been plucked? Then we are not welcome, let's rub the beauty's light." The people in the car were all excited, waiting to eat at Tongfu. The only reason was that Tao Ran's invitation to the sisters was louder and everyone heard it. What could Chen Jun do? His face trembled several times, but he couldn't say anything. Yuan Lily and the two were anxious to go to the hotel owner to settle the score, but when they thought about how much they had lost today, they finally had a chance to take advantage, so they accepted everyone's suggestion to eat first and then come to the hotel. It's good. Everyone will be more energetic after eating. After all, since the hotel is open there is no need to worry about people running away. It doesn't matter if it's earlier or later. The first time he invited his future wife to dinner, Chen Jun couldn't be shabby and asked for a private room. A table of people sat down, and he handed the menu to Fang Wen. She just smiled sweetly and said, "It's simple, just a few of the special dishes you mentioned before." Chen Jun wanted to cry when he looked at the menu. The special dishes in big hotels are at least 5 times the price outside. His heart hurt so much. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 328. Chen Jun wanted to be elegant and well liked, so he politely asked the other two girls about their taste. Dai Yu and Su Bai had already figured out what Fang Wen meant, so naturally they would not hold back. Neither of them were polite. One said, "Have a whole fish. I wish the bride and groom good luck." One said, "Let's have a brine fight. I wish the bride and groom and their families happiness." It happened that the waiter was selling juice, and they both nodded and said, "Wish the bride and groom a sweet harvest." So one ordered the most popular corn juice of that era, and the other ordered a mixed fresh juice. They are almost depressed today. I always feel that if I don't have a good meal this time, I will be sorry for my body and my emotions. The three of them were not the only ones causing trouble. Chen Jun's brothers, who all knew that he was interested in Fang Wen, were still worried about the chaos in the world. They all beeped and said, "Good brother, your affection is really not true, but this is it. Our Chenjun is the most elegant. Chenjun, you are the best man, and you will have a good drink with the 3 bridesmaids today." Chenjun was supported, and besides ordering a table full of delicious dishes, he also ordered 2 bottles of white wine. With a smile on his face and bleeding in his heart, he could only comfort himself that as long as he got a beauty, all the money would come back. In the end, this meal consumed Chenjun's 2-month salary. At this moment, his mood was exactly the same as that of his cousin Chiji, hurt and depressed. Why did you spend so much money for no reason? He didn't understand it until the moment he walked out of the restaurant. But the only thing that comforted him was that after this meal, he discovered that Fang Wen's drinking capacity was very poor. Not long after she took the first sip, she started talking too much and smirking at him. After taking the second sip, her speech became slurred. After taking 3 sips, she held her head and collapsed. This drinking capacity is so bad. Chenjun breathed a sigh of relief. It was good. Then tomorrow, it will be easier to get her drunk. At this moment, Tao Ran, who was full of wine and food, looked at Chenjun's red face in front of him, and was even more sure that the guy now had the same bad wine quality as he did many years later. In the plot, every time Chenjun violently abused Fang Wen, it was always after drinking. And tonight, although his brothers were making noises about drinking, everyone paid attention. After Chenjun drank 3 small glasses, they refused to give him any more wine, and even the wine bottles were put away by Chiji. Tao Ran sat next to Chenjun and watched him swallow several times while others were refilling their drinks. Fun. Fun. After having enough wine and food, the group arrived in front of the hotel. At this time, the streets were lit up and people were going out for a walk, so there were quite a lot of people on the streets. Chiji had a sullen face, pushed open the door, and then took a photo of the entire set of skincare products on the hotel registration form. The shop owner recognized Chiji, and when he saw his posture and the group of people he brought, he already guessed that they were here to cause trouble, and he stood up immediately. "Boss, I don't need to say more. Just admit what you did." Looking for trouble, the boss frowned. Yuan Lily came up with her hands on her hips. "You should pay the money before I cause a big problem, and I can reduce the big problem to a trivial one. Otherwise, if my brothers shout at the door, you won't have to do this business anymore." Threat? Intimidation? Blackmail? What are you going to do? The shop owner was not frightened. "You took our things. If you don't give us double compensation, don't blame us for being rude. Stop spreading rumors. I've never done it. How dare you say no?" Yuan Lily pointed at the gift box and pointed out the boss's behavior of secretly replacing famous brand skincare products. "You are talking nonsense. You dare to say you haven't?" Yuan Lily stamped her foot and shouted directly in front of the hotel door, "I don't admit stealing from illegal stores." Passers-by gathered one after another, and the boss started to protest. "Bah! Can you see? Illiterate. Can't read." The boss pointed to the big letters behind the counter. "Please keep your valuables by yourself. If they are lost, our store will not be responsible. Our store has made a statement long ago. You said it is a brand name skincare product, is it true? You said it was lost, is it true? You have already left the store for most of the day. Now that the thing is gone? Do you think I am stupid? I also wonder if you are here to blackmail me on purpose. It's just to prevent people like you, that's why there are big letters like this. If every customer was like you and said when they got home that the store had taken your stuff, I wouldn't have to open this store." What the boss said made sense, and the onlookers nodded in unison. "Isn't it? Half a day after checking out, I said that the boss had stolen something. Who would believe it? How many hundred are the skincare products in those broken bottles worth? They don't believe it even more. Isn't this blackmail? Yuan Lily pushed Chaoran out and explained to everyone that the set of cosmetics was given to her by her sisters in the city. She bought it at the #1 department store in City A, blah blah blah. Boss, Chaoran stepped forward, this classmate of mine is an honest person, how could he blackmail you? Our cosmetics have really been subcontracted. Isn't it you? The boss glanced at Chaoran and the other two girls, was stunned for 2 seconds, and then suddenly smiled. Little girls, you are the ones who are honest. You classmates are the best at blackmailing people. The boss smiled disdainfully, and then said loudly. In my hotel, who in the county doesn't know that a regular room costs 30 per night? As soon as you came last night, your honest classmate asked me to double the price and said that you would pay for the room, so that she could take half of it away. You saw the house last night and asked about the price. Do you have any impression of this? You good classmates even defrauded you of your money. You guys, you better not believe them. She is a liar. Dai Yu and Su Bai's faces turned pale with anger. Of course they remembered that the boss said that 61 nights was expensive for them, but Yuan Lily said that there were only a few hotels in the county with such prices, so she insisted on staying in this hotel, so it turned out that it was to extort money. Blackmailing your sister's money? Chaoran was also laughing in his heart. She already knew this. Fang Wen and Dai Yu are both city dwellers and have never been to the countryside, so they are inevitably unsure about prices. After Chaoran arrived, she thought, since Yuan Lily didn't plan to pay for the room, why not stay in a good hotel instead of staying in a shabby little hotel? She felt something was wrong. When she came out of the hospital to wander around in the morning, she visited several hotels and found that the house prices in this small county were basically 30 or 40, and the price quoted by a formal big hotel was only 80. So obviously, there are only two possibilities. They were slaughtered, or had their hands and feet used. Yuan Lily is a local and uses dialect with an accent when booking a room, so there is no way she will be ripped off. So, it can only be the latter. So when he returned to the hotel, Chaoran asked the guests checking out next door about the price, and they had already confirmed that the price was 31 nights. This also made her decide not to let her sisters suffer. And the hotel owner is not kind. So when Yuan Lily came back to make trouble, Chaoran didn't feel any guilt towards the boss. Deserve it? She also deliberately stood in front of her boss and said Yuan Lily was sincere just to jog his memory. Sure enough, the framed boss immediately exposed the collusion. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 329. The hotel owner smiled with his hands on his hips. So, little girls, you have also been deceived. You, my classmate, failed to deceive you, so you feel unhappy. Now you have deceived me again. Yuan Lily was anxious. She had long forgotten that she wanted to raise the price to cheat the difference. Now that someone has exposed it, I feel red in the face. Boss, please stop talking nonsense. You will be held legally responsible for spreading rumors. Today's room fee was clearly paid by me. Why did I blackmail my sister? Yes. It was you who paid for it? So when you paid, it was delayed until almost 3 o'clock for 2 rooms, so we paid a total of 70 yuan. The boss shook out a receipt. But little girls, you should still remember that the room agreed upon yesterday was 61. Based on that, for 2 rooms plus delays, you will be charged at least 150. But why did she pay 70? Who is lying? Is your sister blackmailing you? Do you want to continue to help her? Everyone knows it. Dai Yugzubai was even more angry. They heard with their own ears this morning that Yuan Lily asked Qi Ji to leave first and wanted the three of them to pay the rent. If Fang Wen's bag hadn't been stolen, they would have been the ones being taken advantage of today. Paying an extra 60 yuan is not a big deal, but this so-called sisterhood is so chilling. It's a shame they traveled so far to be the bridesmaids. So girls, please be careful and don't be that fool who counts the money after being sold. She is taking advantage of your kindness. If you really spent 400 on skincare products, you should be with me now. Ask your friends carefully whether it is blackmail. Otherwise, be careful that you will also become an accomplice of fraud, and you will be imprisoned together. Dai Yugzubai was dumbfounded again. After being reminded by the boss, they thought of the possibility mentioned by the boss. Yes, since Yuan Lily has blackmailed the sisters once, it is inevitable that there will be a second time, right? Let's just say, good skincare products are put in a box. Who has the chance to get them? Who will replace it? In fact, besides the boss, there is another person, Yuan Lily herself, right? If she is so greedy for money, will she take away the skincare products, replace them with soapy water, and then ask the hotel owner for compensation first, and ask Fang Wen to send them again later? If this is the case, she will have no capital or three profits, right? As soon as this idea came up, the two girls couldn't hold it back anymore. They directly stepped forward and pulled Fang Wen, signaling her to stop speaking for Yuan Lily. Lily, let's not talk about the room fee for now. Just tell me, did you get these skincare products? Stop lying to us, okay? I didn't. Her roommate, who used to be silly and naive, didn't believe her, and Yuan Lily started to jump anxiously again. It's that boss, it must be that boss. He stole something and then retaliated. He's nothing. This is a shady store. Yuan Lily pointed at the hotel owner. Let me tell you, either you return the things to us quickly, or I let everyone in the county know about the good deeds you have done. Yuan Lily glanced at Fang Wen's cold expression and knew that she was angry. For a moment, she also became angry. If they can't explain it clearly today, then the three girls will give up their plans and their plans will be ruined. Not only would she have to refund the money she had received from the Chen family, Qi Ji would be unhappy, but even the fish pond that the Chen family gave Qi Ji's family for free would have to be taken back. When the time comes, her parents-in-law and aunt will definitely be angry. She is getting married tomorrow, which is not good news. What are you still doing? Do you want me to reason here alone? Yuan Lily pushed Qi Ji out directly. Although Tao Ran is not physically capable of martial arts, her reflexes have been greatly improved after 2 worlds of dedicated martial arts training. At this moment, she turned her body and said ouch. While pretending to be taken away by Qi Ji, she bumped into Chen Jun, who was pretending to be surrounding the boss with several brothers on the other side. As a result, Chen Jun staggered and then bumped into the hotel owner. The boss was attracted by Qi Ji, who was being pushed out, so where could he be concerned? As a result, the unlucky boss retreated. Not only did he step on the crowd of onlookers behind him, but his chin was also hit by Chen Jun. What the hell? You still dare to hit people, the boss yelled as he waved his fist out. The boss's fist hit Chen Jun directly in the face. Chen Jun was dumbfounded. Then he saw Fang Wen's concerned eyes and heard Fang Wen's inquiry. He suddenly felt that this was so embarrassing. What a first impression he managed to create. The anger was rising, and Chen Jun couldn't help it and punched out. Do not care. No matter what, you can't be reduced to a coward image. How dare you hit someone after stealing something? How can a society ruled by law tolerate a scum like you? Why don't you be more honest? Chen Junyi said sternly. The boss was not a vegetarian either. He turned aside to avoid Chen Jun's punch, and then pounced directly on him, wrestling with Chen Jun. How shameless! Everyone has seen it, And you have to help me testify that these people did it first, the boss spat out in one breath. Can he not be angry? He is the unjust and unjust calamity. I haven't seen such a rogue group in years. Without even looking at whose territory this is, you dare to act wildly. Chen Jun was spat on and felt even more humiliated. With the help of alcohol, he used all the strength he had gained from working in the fields in his early years, and pumped his left and right fists together. He instantly gained the upper hand. However, in the blink of an eye, a group of men suddenly came out of the crowd. They came up one by one and kicked Chen Jun rudely. Chen Jun not only lost all his advantages, but also became the one who was beaten by the group. It turned out that the boss's previous shouts had called all the neighbors to come. After all, he is someone who has been running a hotel in the county for more than 10 years. How can his connections be so bad? At this time, when they saw their brother being beaten, the gang naturally took action without saying a word. Chi Ji and others were also dumbfounded. 3 seconds later, they joined in the draw. After Chi Ji was pushed, the fight turned into a melee. Everyone drank, and their hormones were already soaring easily, not to mention they were already excited. The one being surrounded and beaten was his brother. At this time, there was no reason to stand by and watch. Only now did Yuan Lily become anxious. How can we fight? Or a group fight? I'm getting married tomorrow. Wouldn't it be a joke if the groom had an injury on his face? She became anxious and shouted in the crowd, begging for help. A minute later, the police arrived. Fighting in the street is not a trivial matter. After a simple question, the onlookers all pointed at Chi-ji, Chen Jun, and his group, saying that they were the ones who made the move first. Yuan Lily stepped forward to complain and angrily accused the hotel owner of theft. The hotel owner insisted that it was this group of people who threatened, extorted, and defrauded, and said he would sue them. Coincidentally, someone in the crowd stood up and pointed directly at Yuan Lily, saying that this woman was making a scene in the mall during the day, and she was also slandering the mall and trying to deceive. Not only one person said this. This small county town is big or small. The shopping mall is on the next street. When the police were dispatched at noon, many people came to watch the excitement. Now that I was reminded of it, I remembered everything. It turns out to be her. Haha, even shopping malls dare to cheat, and this small hotel is no exception. He's clearly a repeat offender. This hotel owner is so unlucky. As a result, a group of people pointed at Yuan Lily and the others and began to curse. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 330. The two groups who were fighting were all invited to the police station. The results will come out soon. Following the clues from the public, the police immediately opened the file when they arrived at the police station and retrieved the police record during the day. It is true that Yuan Lily has been warned and fined for causing trouble in the mall today. Her behavior tonight is clearly a repeat of the past. Yuan Lily's accusation of theft by her boss was just speculation and there was no evidence at all. On the contrary, it is the boss. Someone can prove that he arrived at the hotel at noon and has been at the service desk on the first floor since then. In this way, Yuan Lily's suspicion has been overturned. If you didn't steal it, it would be your waiter or other guests in the hotel, Yuan Lily said again. Anyway, my skincare products are not available in your hotel, you must be responsible. However, her biting was still just speculation. The hotel owner accused her of fraud, and Yuan Lily couldn't even prove whether the skincare products actually existed. I have the receipt. Yuan Lily went to get Taoran, Xiaoan, where are the shopping receipts? Yuan Lily specifically told Fang Wen to put the receipts and gift boxes together so that others would look envious. In my handbag, well, it was stolen together. Yuan Lily wanted to die for a moment. Hotel owner, so, comrade police officer, if she can't produce the receipt, She's just lying. She's cheating. There's no such skincare product at all. How much is it? She just said it casually. Yes, yes, my classmates can testify. The boss laughed again. These stupid classmates who were deceived have no way to testify. After all, they have been deceived by this liar. The boss again told the story of the 3 students who were almost defrauded of their room fees. When questioned by the police, all 3 of them acquiesced. The police officer was also speechless. Who is this? He lied to shopping malls, hotels, and even his roommate and bridesmaid who he had been with for 3 years. After several things were combined, no one was looking at the hotel owner anymore. Everyone felt that the problem was with Yuan Lily. Even Dai Yugzubai didn't believe her. In fact, Chen Jun and his cousins were not sure whether Yuan Lily was cheating. The police said that let alone being unable to confirm whether there were valuable items, even if there were, the owner of the items was the main person responsible. Moreover, this was not the first time, and there was no evidence to prove that the lost items were related to the hotel. Therefore, Yuan Lily's claim is not supported. The hotel owner began to fight back. Trouble, violence, group fights, slander, intimidation, extortion, damage to reputation. The boss said that not only would he not be lenient, but he would also sue these people. Yuan Lily gradually became afraid. There is no evidence for his accusation, but the boss has solid evidence. Chen Jun pounced on him first, so he was regarded as making the first move. She said a lot of harsh words, which now became evidence of her intimidation, threats, and blackmail. Coupled with a bunch of witnesses, everyone was saying it was her fault. She also saw the hotel owner greeting a police officer, who seemed very familiar. She really realized that she was impulsive. The hotel owner has a tough attitude, and each of the charges is even more extreme. What? She's getting married tomorrow. Marry. Even if Chi Ji has a bruised nose and face, even if Chen Jun has a broken mouth, she still has to get married tomorrow. However, with the current situation, they might have to spend the night at the police station. If the boss gets tougher, will they be detained? A group of people, almost sober from drinking, began to put the blame on the wine. Drinking caused trouble, not sober, didn't mean it, knew it was wrong, impulsive, they started apologizing. What can be done? Please ask the boss to make it a trivial matter. The hotel owner put down his cell phone to call an acquaintance, and a smile appeared on his lips. Want to take advantage of him? Then you have to be prepared to suffer losses. He has been able to run a hotel safely for more than 10 years. What kind of ghosts and monsters have he not seen before? He had already called the police since the gang came out to cause trouble. That's why the police came so quickly. He saw that the group was dominated by Yuan Lily, and she had plans for the 3 classmates, so he deliberately targeted the 3rd girl and immediately made Yuan Lily jump. What he was waiting for was for the other party to make the first move. And as long as the other party takes action, no matter what their reasons are or whether they have evidence or not, they will be in the wrong today. So when Chen Jun bumped into him, he seized the opportunity and started to fight back. At that time, he shouted that the other party should strike first to win the support of public opinion. Look. Now, the other party still has no confidence. Fight with him. So tender. Negotiations begin. The hotel owner became even more calm when he heard that the other party was getting married. People from rural areas actually need more face. Marriage is a grand event. If there were any mistakes in this, hundreds of people would laugh at it. The boss laughs just thinking about it. He's not in a hurry anyway. Isn't this the time when the lion opens its mouth? He took a sip of tea and then said slowly, it's not impossible to reconcile if you want. A letter of apology, medical expenses, mental damage, reputational compensation, everything is indispensable. You also beat us. Look what happened to my brothers. Let's break up the medical bills, speaking of which, they suffered even more. Yuan Lily looked at Chi Ji's face and felt a buzzing pain in her head. Besides, the spirit. Stop it, the boss looked at Yuan Lily. I am the one making the request now, not you. Since it was you who made the move first, it's your fault. If you don't accept it, we will go through the legal process. Don't forget, we need to negotiate now. It's you who will end it? The boss directly crossed his arms. Also, because of you, my hotel cannot open today and has suffered a lot of damage. You also have to pay for it. Yuan Lily glanced at the wall and saw that it was already 12 o'clock in the middle of the night. This is going to take forever. Just tell me how much it costs. I have to calculate this slowly, don't rush. The hotel owner asked the police officer for a pen and paper, then got a calculator, and started doing it properly. Yuan Lily was extremely anxious and walked back and forth several times before being stopped by Chaoran and the others. Lily, we are going home. Let me tell you. What? Lily, we don't feel very well. Don't listen to the boss's instigation. He's talking nonsense. He doesn't want to lose money, so he's instigating. Yuan Lily only had one thought: Fang Wen can't be let go. She didn't know how much money she would lose after this mess happened today. In this situation, Fang Wen's role is even greater. She still has to rely on Fang Wen to fill this hole. When Yuan Lily became anxious, her tears actually flowed down. I only have you three good best friends. If you are leaving, I don't want to get married anymore. I beg you, please stay. Tomorrow I will explain it to you. Yuan Lily held on to Chaoran and refused to let go. Chaoran raised his eyebrows, begging her? Okay.